I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at The Black Phone, which premiered at Fantastic Fest in 2021. The Black Phone takes place in the 70s and follows a teenager abducted by a local serial killer. The kid is locked up in a room with an old phone, which he uses to communicate with his captor's previous victims. It's a serial killer crime flick with some supernatural touches that highlights the resiliency of youths. The movie is based on the short story of the same name written by Joe Hill. His stories have been adapted for the screen before, perhaps most notably within the Tall Grass. Hill is the son of legendary novelist Stephen King.
Look up How to Beat Black Phone.
This adaptation is so full of classic King tropes, you'd be forgiven if you thought it took place in Maine.
They got a video on how to beat this movie?
With a screenplay co-written by Derrickson and C. Robert Cargill. These are the guys who brought us the modern classic Sinister, as well as the first Doctor Strange movie. Derrickson was originally supposed to direct in the Multiverse of Madness too, but he left the project due to creative differences. Most likely, he wanted to make it more of a horror film. The good news is that when he left that movie, he and Cargill turned around and made this one. The Black Phone is one of many amazing horror movies that had a wide release in 2022. While it didn't quite electrify me as some of the others, I think it's really well made with phenomenal performances, specifically from the two lead kids and Ethan Hawke in a rare villainous turn as the grabber. It also manages to have an optimism to it, despite the dark subject matter. Ethan Hawke called it a scary movie with a heart of gold. For anyone who finds comfort in Stephen
King. I seen this. I seen this. I forgot I seen this. I seen a little bit like the summary, I think. The nigga had a phone call or some shit. He like had the kid kidnapped in his basement or something. I forgot.
So picture this. You're trapped in a psychotic boogeyman's basement, and your only connection to the outside world is a haunted landline that lets you talk to his past victims. This unlucky kid's biggest problem used to be dodging the bullies at school. Now he'll have to outwit a seasoned serial killer and come up with a plan for escape using whatever he can to get his hands on, along with a little help from the other side. Dial S for survival as we break down the mistakes made, what you should do, and how to beat the grabber in The Black Phone. The year is 1978, and it's a beautiful day for a ball game in the suburbs of Denver, Colorado. But this idyllic slice of Americana hides a deadly secret just below the surface. Pint-sized pitcher Finney takes the mound. It's the bottom of the ninth, and Finn needs to put this batter away to secure his win for the team.
But I don't get no fuck
Collecting himself,
anymore, gang.
Finney glances at his sister before delivering his third pitch, which Bruce crushes out of the park for a walk-off home run. Better luck next time, kid. In the post-game handshake, Bruce graciously compliments his opponent on his mint throwing arm. Sometime later, he cruises the suburban streets on his bike, shooting smiles at his admirers and just generally vibing out. That is, until he crosses paths with a creepy blacked-out van. In his kitchen, Finney eats breakfast at the kitchen table. His dad, dressed in a blue-collar work uniform, pulls up a chair to join him. Finney's dad peers over the page of his newspaper to gripe at his son for slurping his cereal too loudly. Just then, his sister Gwen accidentally lets the bread box door slam open with a bang. It seems this house
How to Beat the Grabbers in The Black Phone
dynamic is a bit tense. On their way to school, Finney and Gwen notice a missing poster featuring none other than Bruce Yamada. Bruce has been missing since July, and Finney expresses doubt that his on-time baseball rival will ever be found. As they continue on their way, they stumble upon a fight between two neighborhood kids. The bandana-clad Robin is squaring off against a much larger classmate, Moose. Robin proves to be a nimble fighter and quickly dispatches his opponent despite his significant size advantage. He then pummels the dazed Moose even further as the crowd of kids cheer on, and Finney ushers his sister away from the violent scene.
I'm good. Thank you for action.
As much as we hate to glorify youth violence, I'm sure we all remember the excitement of a schoolyard brawl. If Moose wants to stand on his own against his
respectful, gang, for one night, bro.
He can't rely on size alone. He'll need
that guy
to
I don't know who he's talking to.
I don't know who he's talking to. But hey, this is 1978. Mixed martial arts is still decades away. While Robin's style is clearly inspired by the lightning fast strikes of Bruce Lee, Moose could take a page from the golden age of pro wrestling. Prior to the World Wrestling Federation's dominance in the 1980s, the pro wrestling circuit consisted of smaller, regional territories scattered across the country, each with their own unique roster of stars and champions. In the 1970s, Colorado was firmly in the territory of the American Wrestling Association. This means Moose could have seen legends such as Vern Gagne, Ray the Cripper Stevens, and Andre the Giant in action. Rather than trying to match blows with Robin, Moose should draw his opponent in to grapple in the clinch. Whatever finisher he chooses, the key is to stay in close to nullify the speed advantage.
Phone service on for free,
ends up on his back while Robin rings up a one-way ticket to the dentist's office. As for Finney, he could learn a thing or two from this dust-up. He may not know it yet, but he'll soon be in for the fight of his life. As they continue toward school, Gwen tells her brother that Moose had it coming. After all, Finney had once been on the receiving end of a beatdown from a bully. The two walk on as a mysterious black van rounds the corner behind them. In class, Finney fiddles with a toy flashlight shaped like a Saturn V rocket as he bashfully steals glances at a female classmate. The bell rings and he bolts from the classroom. Someone calls his name, but he darts quickly.
I know why you haven't been streaming. Why?
Refuge in a nearby bathroom.
Nigga, I streamed. Nigga,
he hides in the end stall, but it's no use.
Nigga, did I not
His pursuers have him cornered, and
like
it seems like Finney is in for another beating.
Keep clocking
Just then, the bathroom door swings open, and it's Robin, there to watch the blood from his knuckles following his earlier encounter with Moose. Robin strikes up a conversation with Finney, and the would-be attackers turn and leave. But before they go, Robin warns them not to mess with Finn again, or else. He tells Finney that he needs to start standing up for himself, and asks if he is free to come by after school again to help him with his math homework. Finney agrees, and they plan to...
I just got back from an experience of a lifetime, man. You know, every time it's different with every bitch, man. You know, when you do that one hug where you slide your arm down to her bottom back, right above her butt, and you just feel me reel her in with the, feel me, and she putting her arms around your neck. Man, I just had that like an hour, 30 minutes ago. That's the best experience ever. The best hug ever. That shit's so bright.
Meet up later. In her class, Gwen is
sent
called to
me
the
home listening
office.
to Jeremiah,
Two detectives, Miller and Ryder, there to talk to her.
Bryson
it seems
Tiller.
like Bruce's sister, Amy, has spoken to authorities about a dream Gwen had about her brother. In this dream, Bruce was taken by somebody in a van filled with black balloons. It just so happens that black balloons were found at the scene of the crime, as well as at the site of another abduction. These details were never made public, and the detectives think that Gwen might know more about the crimes than she's letting on. After
Bro, come on, yo, car, come on. Come on, car. Come on, you gotta call it out on yourself, bro. Call it out on yourself, bro, please. Please call it out on yourself, bro. What the fuck?
Further, Gwen tells investigators that her dreams are sometimes more than just dreams. Later that night, the kid's dad is passed out in his recliner with beer bottles scattered around him. Finney grabs himself a bowl of ice cream and falls asleep in front of the TV watching
we was in the car though.
Movie. He wakes and
it was like it wasn't a standing up, like, nigga. She was in the car, right? I'm dropping her off. Feel me? She on the ride of me on. She like, bye. I'm on my phone. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna see you, be safe. She turned to me. She talking about. I'm like, I put my phone down quick as fuck. I'm talking about slide. And I'm sitting there, I'm trying to hold on tight. I don't even want to let go. You feel me, on some shit.
The sound of his dad dishing out some vintage 1970s corporal punishment to his sister.
Songs.
Dad heard about the visit from
and
the
Bath
police,
and Body Works perfume.
Pleased. He tells Gwen to come.
That's what all the broke black codes use.
But perhaps more importantly, insists that the girl is not like her mother. She doesn't hear and see things that aren't there, right? Her dreams
it makes you feel even closer.
The tearful Gwen agrees to this as her brother smolders with anger across the room, unable to stand up for his sister. Somewhere across town, Robin struts confidently through what looks like an alleyway behind a strip mall. He comes upon a black van, and the vehicle's driver steps out to confront him. Later that night, the calls go out all over town. Robin has gone missing. As the adults form a search party, Gwen consoles Finney over the loss of his friend. He asks his sister
if she can do the dream thing, and she appeals to the heavens for a vision that could be of some help. I mean, I'm still a minor. I'm just telling you, get your shit up.
Returns home and tells her that it's time
baby, it's minors. It's minors who are put on and are rich. So a minor ain't an excuse, man. You can find you a minor female that's rich and put on and, feel me, Got good ass cologne, gang. Get your taste up. Only go for the rich hoes. We only going for rich hoes 2025. Bitch, we having our standards up. None of these broke ass hoes with fucking Don Julio, Takis, and fucking goofy ass. You know what I mean? Ain't doing all that shit, gang.
Next morning, Detectives Miller and Wright are back with more questions for Gwen, much to her father's dismay.
All hoes wear Bath and Body Works, bro. That's what the broke hoes use, gang. The feel me? The rich hoes, they using that different shit, gang. I mean, the broke hoes shop at the Bath and Body Works, nigga. The rich hoes hitting Victoria's Secret. It's merch. Victoria's Secret perfume actually costs very expensive, gang. That's a fact. What you want, little bro? You good. Little bro, your ass is 14, maybe 15 now. The ones that put their hands up and do the turnaround twerk, ew. just ghetto as fuck. Just ghetto as fuck. Swag. You like, what I fuck you from the back, but I want to see your face right now. The fuck? She was trying to fuck, but she was drunk, so I wasn't letting her. I know you proud of me. Gang. Nigga. That's bare minimum. I'm proud of you, but like, come on, gang. That should be bare minimum, gang. That should be expected. Should be expected, bro. If a bitch is drunk, never take advantage. Always tell her no.
Meanwhile, without Robin,
she's not in her right mind, bro. A bitch who will dub the fuck out of you, while not drunk, will get drunk and want to fuck the shit out of you. So don't do that. Cause then when she gets sober, she gonna be like, "Oh, this nigga took advantage of me. Oh, this, that, and this." So don't ever do that. Even if I ain't gonna lie, I feel like the only green for you to fuck a drunk bitch is if it's your girlfriend. That's the only green light. It's for you to fuck your girlfriend while she's drunk. That's it. Nothing else.
Finny
you see the Black Phone 2 trailer? Yeah, we just watched that.
The bullies from before. Gwen runs to the rescue, beating one of the boys with a rock before taking some punishment herself. With Gwen out of commission, Finny is left to take the brunt of the abuse.
Damn, my nose.
Okay, man. Here we go again. Man, growing up in the 70s sucked. You've got 3 bullies to every kid, and if they don't get you, dad's waiting at home with the belt.
Hey, bro,
Gwen put up a valiant effort against these jerks, which is more than we can say for her brother. But even if she lost the rock,
and
Gwen
she got a boyfriend,
has the odds.
Ain't no telling what she would say. Oh. She was just all over the place. Nigga, there ain't nothing here. Oh, hold on. Goofy ass nigga, bro. Bro, like, what the fuck? Like, what do this, like, bro, stop, bro, did I tell you to send this, or did I say send me a clip of me dick around Duke Dennis? What the fuck are you sending, bitch? Why you be ego in car DMs? Nobody egos his DMs, and nigga, I look at it on stream and reply to it on stream. He literally, it be in the stream when I reply to his DMs. I reply with my voice. And I don't, nigga, what you want me to reply on stream and then be like, what the fuck, nigga? Like, nigga, I'm on stream talking, nigga.
Now it's 2-on-2.
I wasn't twerking, bro. That shit was literally AI.
Or just continue to lie there like a helpless
Who you think
baby.
you is egoing my messages? All right, hold on. Now I'm about to go and I'm about to see Binary has sent me not one message. It's not sent me one message. Where this nigga at? Like, nigga, look, all you sent me was this fucking, this freaky ass, this freaky ass video. That's what you said. That's what you said, this freaky ass Twitter.
Come on, man. Don't let this guy kick your little sister in the face. Stand up and fight. Okay, if fighting isn't an option, has anyone considered calling for help? From the looks of things, this beatdown is taking place in someone's front yard with the...
I don't give a fuck about the big, got a stick in the car with a sound like a blade. How about the bed and we banging the mug with a motherfucking shot from the shit in your dick? Hold on, 555, fat little bitch on my dick. Hit you out well, you stick at your bitch on my dick. She slamming that bitch like a brick. Yo, rocking that shit and we throw them out to the 8. Fucking that bitch and I'm cocking my tape. Taste on the bitch like I'm Tasting the beat like I'm eating my drums. The big got a come and the big get the guns. How about that bed on stretch? How about that bed on stretch your shit and I'm shooting your shit. 30 clip on me, that bitch on the wrist. 30 clip on me, that bitch on the wrist. Fucking your bitch and I'm doing that shit. Slapping a nigga, stuff some shit,
Rakai, son, Rakai. Alright, nigga trying shit. Niggas gotta stop with the Rakai clone shit.
The recent
just
abductions
little ass
making
black
headlines,
niggas that
it's
just
reasonable
like
to think
changing up the nigga name. Like, what the fuck type of shit is that?
In danger. But then again, it seems
fuck?
like the adults in this town aren't the most
Big
helpful
Brian
bunch
early,
to
like,
begin
what are you
with.
doing?
Maybe that's why the grabber has turned the area into his own personal playground. I don't know.
Later that day, a bruised and battered Finney must choose a lab partner for science class. He pairs up with Donna, the girl he'd been staring at the day before. Donna commiserates with him over the recent run-in with the bullies and compliments his sister's grit for taking them on. On the walk home, Gwen teases her brother for crushing on Donna before taking off to spend the night at a friend's house. Finney continues his walk home alone. Along the way, he crosses paths with a black van with the words Abracadabra Entertainment scrawled along the side. Suddenly, a man in a black top hat stumbles out from behind the van, spilling a bag of groceries on the sidewalk. The man introduces himself as a part-time magician and offers to show Finn a trick. It's then that he spots the black balloons in the back of the van, and he's soon fighting for his life as the notorious grabber lives up to his name. Finney manages to stab the attacker's arm with his trusty rocket flashlight, but after a dose of some mysterious spray, it's lights out as the grabber closes him into the back of the vehicle. The grabber tosses Finney down on a bare mattress as the effects of the spray begin to wear off. He's been taken to an empty room with a single metal door that opens on a flight of stairs. Now
how to
wearing
beat
some
it,
kind
nigga. I
of
gotta know how to beat it, nigga. If a nigga grab me, gang, I don't like. What the fuck? Bro, Carl, what I tell you about this, bro? You love sending shit. Can you turn it to a sender that sends clips that I need to see, nigga? I don't be on the internet like that, nigga. So send clips that I need to see, nigga. Send me like updates, like shit that happened on the internet. Like, why the fuck are you sending me AC640 spam edit, bro? This nigga loves sending shit, but don't send the right shit, nigga. Send me shit to react to. Send me shit that happened, nigga. What happened, nigga? Like, get fucking Z-ass smack the fuck out of Silky or something, nigga. I can do that, yeah. Send shit like that, nigga.
of creepy devil mask, the grabber complains about the wound Finney caused to his arm, but his mood.
You watching the second one? Yeah. Me and what's the name gonna go? I just get a fucking gin, little bitch. Bro, a nigga with a gun can get grabbed up. You know that, right? Binary. If I see your little ass and you got a fucking Taurus in your pocket and you walking home from school, I can easily grab you the fuck up, gang. You not gonna have time to pull it out how fast I'm gonna come around the corner and come here, little nigga. Huss, throw you in the back of my truck, nigga. I'm zoom, you feel me? Bitch, you done. Like, what the hell, nigga think? Nigga think that little Taurus gonna save his ass, gang?
Calms, and he reassures the boy that he means him no harm. He gives his word that nothing bad will happen here and offers to bring Finney a soda. The grabber leaves, shutting and locking the heavy metal door behind him. Still clutching the bloodied rocket, Finn rises from the mattress and takes a look around. After checking the locked door, he finds a hanging light in one corner of the room.
I'm not going to kidnap the nigga, bro. I'm just talking about how he could get kidnapped.
To be a few rolled up rugs. Other than that, the room is empty except for a black rotary phone hanging from the back wall. Finney takes the handset from the receiver, but there is no
Massive fires in Canada are forcing thousands of people to...
Okay, so you send me the fucking news. Bro, gang. I didn't say the news, nigga. I'm not talking about what's going on in the world, nigga. I'm talking about on, like, Twitch, TikTok, things of the sorts, gang. I do not give a hell what is going on in the fucking world. Oh my God. They caught this nigga Key Sin spanking. Yo, what the fuck? Bro, y'all know that fucking admin? That admin for fucking Windy City in the Towns? That nigga named like Key Sins. This nigga moaning in the cold a bitch. Wait, hold on. Yo, Jew.
I stayed it up.
Yo.
So
was Key Sins the nigga who we seen in Ushi Gucci phone talking about mommy?
Yeah. Hey, you know, they just got filmed with this nigga like playing with this shit.
Yeah, you see. Yo, this nigga is a spanker around, nigga.
Yeah, nah, that nigga be playing with this shit. I just seen that shit.
Yo, this nigga is he's talking about
Nigga said Cat was playing with his booty,
Yo, you see this shit, Stitch?
No.
Look at my screen share. Cause like this right up your alley, gang. Look at it, like this nigga is nasty as fuck.
Who is Keyson?
Keyson is like a game admin or something.
Like what the fuck? Nigga be like, come on, who was he doing that?
God, that nigga is cool. Mind you, she is muted. What is he beating to?
Nah, for real.
Like,
I said that.
Oh, this nigga is fucking disgusting, bro. What the?
It might just be like the vibration. Sound like that nigga said daddy.
Weirdo.
Yeah.
What is he like? What the fuck?
I ain't gonna lie, best feeling like this get out there, but I gotta get off this shit. Bro.
Why? That's nasty.
That nigga more like a bitch.
What's he so tight?
Nigga need his booty. I mean, wait, nigga, wait.
What? He do sound like he getting fingered with though.
That's crazy.
I don't even make all this noise. Like, how do niggas make this noise? Like, is that what y'all be doing? Like, how do niggas make all this noise when they doing they shit? Like, nigga, I'll be cool and I might say a little something, but I don't be all that like.
That nigga.
And to do this over Discord,
that nigga probably. I don't know, but ain't no. He ain't spanking on me though. Okay.
You think he playing with his ass?
Alright, come on, bro.
Is this like this playing with your ass type energy though? Yes, I'd be like that with my girl.
Who said that?
This nigga sound like he playing with his like a bitch when they play with they pussy.
Yeah, possible.
Like, bitch, this shit don't even sound good. You wanna hear that part?
It's so embarrassing. What? Yo, that nigga say he calling the joint daddy?
Yo.
What that nigga say?
The bitch said he was playing with his ass. The bitch that sent
Nah. That nigga kinky.
These really be the admins, like, who just feel so fucking crazy.
Come on, bro. Rookie mistake, bro.
These be the admins banning. These be the admins banning niggas, like.
Come on,
goofy shit.
Rookie mistake. Okay. He can't ban the nigga because he play with his booty, right? He can't just do his job.
I just be realizing, like, these niggas be lame as fuck in real life, like, and just be feeling so crazy because they got a power on a video game, like.
Damn, I wonder what he doing. Wendy, what's the server? It's on.
Bro, probably some crazy shit behind the scenes, gang. Perm abusing, using perm for hoes and shit like that, different shit. Like.
That would be crazy though. I mean, who was that he's spanking that shit?
I just licked that faction cord on Wendy and he got the nerve to post a GIF a couple days ago. Nigga, what he came post a GIF? But I ain't gonna lie, that nigga, hey, this nigga is a goofy.
Like, what do you do after something like that come out?
Shit, I don't know. But it's like, nobody.
If I'm arguing with a nigga in game and I know they got leaked for doing some shit like
that. Where that screenshot of him calling fucking, of him calling Ushi Gucci mommy. Ever since then, I just knew that nigga was crazy. But now this nigga got videos of him playing with his ass.
I let some stuff in that F, all my niggas dead.
Fuck is he? But I don't know, bro. That's a nigga too.
They'd be weirdos on this shit.
Yeah. Weirdos for real. That nigga, yeah. Wait, he said, "Let me call
Telling
you
y'all
daddy."
that.
Bro, these niggas be
Nigga, he
weird. These niggas be real life.
Call the nigga
weird on
daddy,
this
cuz
shit.
that nigga is that's a man he in the call.
Like, that's
fool.
when you get no type of shit in real life. Like, you just a fucking goofy. Like,
Hold on, let me cook.
hell no.
Dial tone. The phone line has been cut, which means he won't be calling for help anytime soon. Exhausted
Black
from his
boy
ordeal,
playing
he
his
lays
hoe.
down on the
That
mattress
shit
and
is
closes
disgusting.
his eyes. Okay, Finney might not be much of a fighter, but he's
Can't even
certainly
take
not
no
the most
admin
observant
ass
kid
nigga
in the
serious
world
after
either.
that.
Right from the start, he missed several obvious red flags that could have kept him free from the grabber's clutches. I mean, didn't
Yo,
anyone
some
ever
T.O.S.
tell
boy
you not
shit.
to talk to
Goofy
strangers?
shit.
You're walking along, and this weirdo with a freakishly
Niggas
pale
gotta
face
chill with that,
pops
though.
out from behind a creeper van. Better stick around and see where
That
this
nigga
is
is,
going. With
like,
so many
trash,
of his
though. What is he getting out of that?
Already missing.
Bro, he was doing it
Finney
to the bitch
should be on
muted,
high
like-
alert for anything out of the ordinary.
And he's playing with
In
his
all
ass,
honesty,
Kurt.
the
That's
sight
not the
of van
same.
alone should have
That's
been
not the same
enough
as
to
sitting
send
there
him
video
packing to
dicks
the
like a
other
bitch
side of the
moaning in the
street.
car or
Never
something,
mind
like,
hanging around to
that nigga
see
sitting there
what
playing with his
tricks this
ass
ghoulish
while the
stranger
bitch is
has up his
muted.
sleeve. But perhaps the biggest red flag of all are
Ass,
the black
yes, he
balloons
playing with his
he
ass,
spots in
gang.
the
You
back
talking
of the
about,
van.
oh,
Now,
we
it's
all do that.
possible
Oh,
Gwen didn't
nigga,
tell
he
her
playing
brother
with his
about her
ass.
dream tying these
fuck?
balloons
That's
to
why
the
he talking about, let me
disappearance
call
of
you
the other
daddy.
boys. But from his
fuck?
reaction,
That nigga on some
it
gay
seems
shit.
like Finney has some idea
Sexually
of their
gay and shit was
significance
muted. That was probably-
rather than leaning
that was
in
probably
for
like a
closer
gay
look.
nigga,
He should
I ain't
get the
gonna
hell
lie.
out of there at the first sight of these things. Once confined to the basement, Finney should look around for anything he could use to fight back. And as luck would have it, the grabber has given him an incredible gift. A true equalizer in the realm of improvised weaponry. The lid to the toilet tank. All he
Oh,
needs
this
to do
nigga
is
is
just wait to the
smart.
side of the door for his kidnapper to return. And as soon as the door swings open, raise the heavy porcelain lid high and bring it down with force onto the grabber's dome. That should be enough to knock him unconscious, or at least stun him long enough to deliver more blows and take him out. But wouldn't the grabber see him waiting there? Not with that dumbass mask obscuring his peripheral vision. Unfortunately, the only thing holding Finney back from launching a successful attack is himself. He's shown
That's worse
time and
than
time
spanking,
again
yeah.
that he's either
Nigga,
unable
that's not
or
spanking, nigga. He
unwilling
just
to
on some
fight.
gay
If he's
shit.
going to survive this, he's gonna have to find another way.
At her friend's house, Gwen gets a call from her father. He's asking about Finn, who hasn't been seen since school that day. This news sends Gwen into a panic, and she takes off running for home. Once there, she finds a street full of police cruisers and the two familiar detectives speaking to her father. The distraught Gwen turns to prayer, but is soon distracted by the sound of a ringing phone. In his makeshift cell, Finney hears the ringing too, and he rises from the mattress and tries the phone again, but the grabber, who's been watching from the shadows, will tell him soon that it won't work. The grabber promises that he'll take Finney home soon, but in the meantime, there's something or someone upstairs that requires his attention. Finn wonders if it's the police and bargains with the bad man to let him go. He threatens to scream, which would alert anyone outside who may be looking for him. The grabber assures him that this would be pointless, as he's thoroughly in a soundproofed room. He tells Finney to hang up the phone, adding that he once heard it ring despite being disconnected, a phenomenon he chalks up to static electricity. Finney does as he's told, and the grabber returns upstairs, shutting the door behind him. With his abductor gone, Finney decides to test the soundproofing. He screams for help at the top of his lungs, but just as the grabber promised, his pleas go unheard. Next, he tries jumping up to grab a hold of a barred ground-level window, but it's simply too high to reach. He realizes he's far from the first victim to be held in this room. If anyone could reach the window and pry off the bars, they would have done it by now. He sits back in as the reality of the situation begins to sink in. But just then, the phone rings. Finney answers, but there's no one on the other end. Confused, he hangs it up and goes back to sleep. From his vantage point on the mattress, Finney looks at the phone through bleary eyes. He's soon shocked upright by a word from the grabber, who has been watching him from across the room. Finney says that he's hungry and asks for some food, but the grabber refuses and leaves him alone to sleep. That is, until the phone rings again. Finney once again answers the call, but this time he hears a voice on the other end of the line. It sounds like a kid about his age, but when Finn asks his name, the caller says he can't remember. He does recall meeting Finney once, telling him that his arm was mint. Finney realizes that he's speaking to Bruce Yamada, who is reaching him from beyond the grave through some kind of supernatural force tied to this phone. Bruce tells Finney that the grabber can hear the phone ringing too, but that he doesn't want to believe it. He also alerts him to the loose floor tiles he's discovered in the room when he was trapped there himself. He urges Finn to remove the tiles and dig a hole under the foundation. If he can dig out to the other side in time, then maybe he can escape. The line goes dead and Finney hangs up the phone, but just as Bruce described, he finds the loose tiles in the hallway behind the bathroom and begins digging with his bare hands, flushing dirt down the toilet one handful at a time to hide the evidence. Meanwhile, Gwen is having another one of her strange dreams. She sees visions of Bruce as a child with his family and the grabber abducting him in the same manner as her brother. She then sees Finney, who is banging on the locked front door of a typical-looking suburban home as he screams for help. Convinced her vision has shown her a clue to her brother's whereabouts, she quickly hops on her bike and starts looking for the house from her dream. After digging a sizable hole in the floor, Finney covers his progress with one of the rolled-up carpets before collapsing on the mattress in exhaustion. The grabber returns the next morning to drop off a tray of breakfast and the long-awaited soda he'd promised before. Finney is unsure about the food, but there's one thing he knows for certain. The grabber forgot to lock the door behind him, but just as he begins to open it, the phone rings again. Finney answers the call, and a voice on the other end warns him not to go upstairs. Apparently, the grabber left the door open on purpose as a part of his sick game. Like Bruce, this new caller has no recollection of his life before. He does not remember delivering newspapers and tells Finn to call him Paperboy. The Paperboy warns him that the grabber is waiting for him upstairs, and nothing good will come of venturing up there. Rather than risking it, Finney turns his attention to the tray of food, and after finishing his meal, he gets another call from Paperboy, who tells him that there's a long length of wire hidden along the crack where the wall meets the floor. Maybe it could somehow aid in his escape? At school, Gwen falls asleep at her desk. Her teacher tells her to go lie down in the nurse's office. It's here that she experiences another vision. This time, she sees a boy bundling newspapers in preparation for delivery.
I've been on Seymour Attention for like 2 months.
The boy is accompanied by a golden retriever, the only witness to his kidnapping. Suddenly, she sees the grabber standing in front of a house with a bunch of black balloons. Startled awake by what she's seen, she runs from the nurse's office. Meanwhile, Finney locates the length of wire right where Paperboy said it would be. He tries to lasso it around the window grate but can't quite manage to get it through. Just as he's given up hope, he remembers the rolls of carpet. He props the longest roll up by the window, using it as a guide to feed the wire up and through the grate. With the loop of wire secured, Finn manages to climb up to the window, but the grate holding him gives way and crashes to the floor. Okay, we're making some progress here. Even if he can't reach the window to climb out, pulling the grate off should get Finney one step closer to freedom. While the rest of the basement may be reinforced and soundproofed, it's pretty clear this window is just an ordinary pane of glass. With the metal bars removed, he should be able to break the glass with relative ease by throwing something through it, like the soda bottle. Now that the glass is shattered, the benefit of soundproofing literally goes out the window, and Finney can scream for help. If he's lucky, a passerby may hear his cries and alert the authorities. Or maybe the person upstairs the grabber alluded to before will hear him and decide to investigate. Otherwise, the bottle itself could be made into a decent weapon. It's simply a matter of breaking off.
That's what I'm saying. Break the bottle, nigga. Yeah.
Old-fashioned barroom.
What the hell?
I mean, he's already managed to cut the grabber once with his toy rocket while in a complete state of panic. With a calm head and a much sharper implement, he could probably cause some serious damage. Maybe when the grabber returns to check on him, Finney hits him with the old "I'm so sick" routine, doubled over with the improvised weapon concealed. And when the scumbag gets close enough, he strikes and doesn't let up until he's finished the job. I mean, best case scenario, he lands a blow to a major artery, and the grabber bleeds out in mere seconds. At the very least, he's going to require some professional medical attention, which should raise questions as to the origin of his injuries. If a sliced up weirdo showing up to the ER in a black van doesn't raise a red flag or two, then nothing will. Assuming he's still not up for a fight, Finney could give his original plan to climb out one more time. First, he should pile all the carpet rolls in front of the window. Standing on these to improvise his reach, he could then try to lasso something outside with the length of wire to create a lifeline.
Like if there's a gas meter or even a sturdy shrub on the side of the house, he could have all the leverage he needs to pull himself up to safety. At home, Gwen decides to risk her dad's temper by bringing up the topic of her dreams. Dad explains how her mother was touched with a gift for seeing and hearing things, until her visions eventually drove her to madness. Apparently, this gift was transferred to the children, and the reason he's so strict is that he's afraid they'll all suffer the same fate. Despite all this, though, he agrees to drive Gwen around the neighborhood in search of the house from her dream. Elsewhere, the detectives are canvassing for leads. They knock on the door of a nervous-looking fellow named Max, who welcomes them inside to discuss the case. Max has theories of his own about the grabber, laid out in details across the maps. Newspaper clippings and other evidence arranged on bulletin boards in his living room. From his investigation, he believes he's even narrowed down a possible area where the grabber could be hiding. Concerned by his interest in the case, the cops ask Max if he has lived in the area for very long. He tells them he's just in town crashing with his brother and continues offering theories to the uninterested officers. Convinced he's merely a harmless crank with too much time on his hands, the detectives leave Max to continue his amateur investigation, unaware that Finney is being held in the basement below. That evening, the grabber returns with another tray of food. He teases his victim with an offer of freedom before tossing the tray on the floor and returning upstairs. As Finney checks to find the door unlocked again, the phone rings, but this time no one responds from the other side. Upstairs in the kitchen, the grabber is waiting to punish Finney if he should dare to venture through the unlocked door. The madman dozes off in his chair as Finney scrapes his meal off of the floor. Later, Finney is contacted by another of the grabber's former victims, who informs him that their abductor has been losing sleep lately. It seems he's nervous that his house guest, his brother, is growing suspicious of his activities. This boy warns Finney that he's running out of time. The grabber has fallen asleep waiting for him, and this is his chance to escape. But there is a catch. The front door is secured with a combination lock, which happens to be this kid's old bike lock. He can't remember the combination, but he wrote it on the wall during his time in captivity. Finney locates the numbers, but they're too closely bunched to discern the proper combination, and it looks like he'll have to try them all without
23317
in the process. Finney sneaks up the stairs and past his snoozing jailer to the front door. As promised, he locates the lock and begins running through possible combinations. After a few tense moments, he lands on the right order, and the lock falls open with a loud click. This alerts the grabber's dog in the next room, whose barks wake the sleeping kidnapper. Finney is halfway down the block before the black van catches up to him. He tries screaming for help, but the grabber tackles him to the ground. Before long, he is once again subdued and returned to captivity in the grabber's basement. Okay, let's talk about the opportunity. Sneaking out of the house was the hard part, and now you blow it by sprinting frantically down the street. Finney, buddy, wide open spaces
go away like this nigga is trash.
Not if you want to stay free.
Why the fuck are you on a sidewalk, nigga? Hit a cut.
Without being spotted, the grabber had to hop in his van. You know a good way to avoid moving vehicles? Stay off the main roads. The key here is going to be cutting through the neighbors' yards. Instead of running straight down the sidewalk, try zigzagging your way behind houses and through
nigga is an idiot,
changing
nigga.
Directions.
I would just run at a nigga window and hop in the neighbor window, nigga.
It's hard to imagine the grabber could even find
this nigga trash. A nigga like me killing the nigga our first encounter. As soon as he tried to go get me with the falling over shit, like this nigga suck. Nigga had 30 chances and it's just doing bad.
By which point the grabber will surely give up the chase. Now, hiding in an unlocked shed or under a porch could provide all the cover you need to make it through the night. Or maybe there's a way to get out of this nightmare without leaving the house in the first place. After all, trying to open the lock without the exact combination is a risky move, and it's the sound of the mechanism clicking open
this
that
shit think he got away.
The
and look, he over there fucking running for his life. I'm like, nigga right behind your ass in the van.
The enhanced 911 system had already been standardized. This includes features we know today, such as automatic location and number identification. In theory, Finney could simply dial 911, leave the phone off the hook, and find a convenient hiding place somewhere in the living room to wait for the authorities. Behind the couch, for instance. Meanwhile, the grabber can continue his little nap undisturbed until the police show up to check on the call. With nothing to spoil his slumber, the cops will have a clear view of him sitting there in his freaky-ass mask as soon as they arrive on the scene. and by the time that he removes the combo lock and opens the door, there's a good chance that they'll already have the blicky drawn. Even if the grabber decides to make a break for it, it's likely that Finney has already done enough to
nigga had to get his keys, then hop in the van, then turn on the van, and you still right there.
All
like,
he has to do is make himself
sucks.
and the grabber is toast. The next morning, an aggravated Finney wakes to the sound of the ringing phone. He's understandably frustrated, as the advice he's received from his counterparts on the other side has done little to help his situation. This time, the voice that responds is decidedly more confrontational than the previous callers. It's the aforementioned Pinball Vance Hopper, the former toughest kid in school. Hopper warns Finney that this is his last day. If he's going to outwit the grabber, he'll have to act now. Vance flashes back to a time when he brutalized two lads in a convenience store for interfering with his game of pinball. If someone this tough could fall to the grabber, what chance does Finney stand? Somehow, Gwen has also harnessed her supernatural gifts to enter Vance's reverie. In this vision, she sees him carve a number into one of his victims' arms with a switchblade, 7741. When the police arrive to take Vance away, Gwen joins him in the back seat of the cruiser. The ride ends in front of the same brick house from her last dream. This time, the address numbers of her house are clear, 7741. Gwen awakes in the bathtub with a jolt and begins to process this new information. Back in the basement, Vance talks Finney through the new plan. In the alcove with the toilet, there's a wall with an electrical socket. On the other side of the wall is a storage room. Vance managed to break through this wall during his time in the basement, but found the path was blocked by a large upright freezer. If Finn can break through the wall, he can expose a panel in the back of the freezer, unscrew it, and crawl through the appliance to the storage room. After a final parting outburst from the former bully, Finney gets down to business, putting his plan into motion. Using the lid from the toilet to bash through the wall, he locates the freezer panel. He then strips parts from the toilet and uses a washer as a makeshift screwdriver to remove the bolts holding the panel shut. Inside the freezer, Finney discovers plenty of frozen meat, but can't manage to force the doors open to escape. Okay, did someone say electrical socket? Finney, my boy, pack your bags because you're getting out of here. First, take the wire from before and strip the protective shielding from both ends to expose the metal core. Now unscrew the water line from behind the toilet so that water begins to flood the room. We don't want any of it escaping through the hole you dug earlier, so use one of the sturdier rolls of carpet to divert the flow away from that area. Now, assuming an average flow rate of 2.2 gallons per minute, common to domestic fixtures, there should be enough water to cover most of the basement floor in no more than an hour. Depending on how long the grabber is gone, there could even be inches of accumulation. The next part of this plan involves spending a good amount of time in the freezer you just opened up. So make it more comfortable by lining the inside with yet another piece of carpet. Hey, if he's going to leave so many of these things lying around, you might as well put them to good use. From the safety of your chilly perch, you're all set to put the finishing touches on your trap. Place one end of the wire into the water that's accumulated below, and wait for the sound of the grabber entering the room.
Nigga could have electrocuted his ass, bro.
Jam the
but who the fuck is thinking of this in the moment, though? Nigga think everybody fucking know about like electric, like nigga. Nobody think about this when they just got kidnapped.
While the grabber rides the lightning straight to hell. Now there's a good chance this little maneuver will trip the circuit breaker, so timing is everything.
Bro, God, just slow ass not thinking of this, nigga. We're not, nigga. We are not thinking of this, nigga. Nobody is thinking of this.
But hey,
what the hell?
Highly theoretical.
This shit doesn't make no sense, nigga.
The courage to
if I'm in the nigga basement game, I'm just giving that shit up. I'm gonna be like, nah, shit over. Alright, he caught my ass. Nobody is thinking of fucking taking a power socket and putting and flooding the toilet. Like, what the hell?
And he'd better do it soon because the grabber is almost finished toying with him. Exhausted and defeated, Finney breaks down as the phone rings yet again. This time it's his old buddy Robin. He tells Finn to dry his tears. He's with him and he's not going to leave him. He assures his friend that he won't meet the same fate as the grabber's other victims. Today is the day he finally stands up for himself. Robin tells Finn to use the phone as a weapon.
Packed with dirt, it could be heavy enough to do some damage. He talks Finney through some footwork to aid in his attack, hopefully providing the strategy he'll need to best the grabber one-on-one. Robin tells him to use what they've given him and wishes him a final goodbye. From here on out, Finn is on his own. He cuts the phone free and packs it full of dirt as Robin instructed. Back on the hunt for the house she saw in her dreams, Gwen rides her bike through the rainy suburban streets. Suddenly, she's face to face with the apparitions of the missing boys, causing her to lose control and crash. When she gets up, she realizes she's right in front of the house that she was looking for. She rushes home to alert the authorities. Finney's time is almost up. The grabber procures some supplies for the final steps of his twisted game, while brother Max ponders his evidence in the living room. Across town, the detectives spring into action after receiving Gwen's call. Meanwhile, Max begins to put the pieces together. His brother's house is within the radius he's established for the grabber's hideout. Could the answer have been staring at him all along? As the lights come on in the basement,
maybe somebody will think of it after watching this show.
Grabber, the incredulous Max steps through the doorway. Max promises to go for help, but an axe blow to the head quickly puts a stop to that. The grabber has come home early, and he doesn't look happy to see Finney. Outside, the police arrive at the scene where Gwen is waiting. She points them to the house, and they pound on the door with their guns drawn. They breach the entryway, but the place seems to be empty. The grabber and Finney aren't here. In the basement, the grabber retrieves his axe from his brother's skull and calls his enormous dog downstairs to stand watch as he finishes his latest victim. He swings the axe, but Finney dodges out of the way at the last minute, running for cover in the hallway behind the bathroom. The grabber gives chase, but Finney has rigged the wire across the floor to trip him, and he plummets into the carpet-covered hole in the floor. This is also where Finney had stashed the grate from the window, and the grabber's ankle snaps on impact with the debris. Finney seizes on his opportunity to wail on his assistant with the phone, making the most of Robin's fighting instructions. He lands a few solid blows before ripping the lunatic's signature mask from his face. As the grabber recoils from the loss of his psychological shield, Finney wraps the phone cord around his neck to finish the job. Just then, the phone rings one last time. The killer is taunted from beyond the grave by his previous victims before Finney delivers the coup de grace, snapping his neck.
So the dog just disappeared?
Finally, this bastard gets what's coming to him. You know, for some hotshot boogeyman, he
really
has a lot of holes in his game. From the very start, it was almost as if he wanted to get caught. Grabber, you f***ed up. Let's start with a choice in wheels. A blacked out van is already the most conspicuous vehicle a kidnapper could drive, but emblazoning the logo of your part-time magic company on the side, that just screams, I come in close contact with other people's kids. Notice me, senpai. I mean, you might as well just strap a big neon sign with the words boys inside.
Is one of the worst movies?
Next, the tendency to snatch your victims in broad daylight and in plain view of the public shows a serious lack of common sense. I mean, the fact that you weren't caught.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie.